Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you for that. All right. Miss Estella is my first one. Hey, Ghost, how are you? All right, hang on. A lot of people had their brains scrambled this week. Yeah. I had a friend give me this. I have a big bone and charm kit. All of that is bones and charms in here. All right, Miss Estella. All right. Y'all may get to see me put my nerd glasses on. I'm just letting you know. It is what it is. Oh, they're dirty. So, Miss Estella, we're going to start over here and work our way around. So you have the big buffalo bone, which is strength and perseverance. You have the blank rune, but the blank rune is upside down. You have the fox fang. You have a turtle. You actually have 2 turtle bones. You've got an interesting thing over here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You also have the titanium quartz and you have the shell. All of those right here together. Then over here, you have the pink imperial quartz, jasper. And then over here, you have the lapis and the other turtle bone. So let's start with this. My nose is itching. Let's start with this. You're at a dead stop for a reason. You're at a dead stop for a reason, okay? I know it's frustrating when we hit dead stop, but you've got a lot of things that need to be strengthened before you can move forward, okay? There's 3 big things here that have to do with strength, with protection, and with like circling the wagon. Okay, Miss Estella? The rune upside down is what tells me that you're stopped, that you're paused, that you're not moving forward. The fox fang up in between these 2 things right here tells me that it's irritating the shit out of you that you're paused, that you're stuck, that you're stopped, that you can't move forward. You know there's potential there. You know there's all of these things to do, but you're not moving forward. So here's what I'm going to say before we talk about any of this, okay? It's okay to pause. It's okay to stop. It's okay to freeze in place for a little bit. We all have to do that. All of us. Circle the wagons. It's time for you to get your protections in place, get your backbone on straight, get all that armor on before this flips back over, okay? Because right here, this imperial jasper, the pink imperial jasper of all things, is all about self-love. And for some reason, yours is over here, like they're separated, okay? They're separated. Is it closed for tonight? Let me look. I don't think so. Let me look. But this over here is also interesting to me too, because you have the lapis and another turtle bone. I have a feeling that you're paused because you've kind of forgotten who you are. Does that make sense? I'm looking to see if nope, there's still a few. There's still a few. Here. We'll do that. Fixed the quantities a little bit. Let's see if that's better. Let's see if that's better. See if that fixes it. Let's see if that fixes it. Hang on. Now I'm wondering if the time didn't do its stupid ass thing. Sometimes this thing puts an end time on it and there doesn't need to be an end time. Oh my God, that's exactly why. That's exactly why. Hold on. Hold on. That's why. I'm about to fix it. Oh, honey. Well, practice outlaw. I am positive that you spend money on some absolutely asinine things too that are much less entertaining than this. I love you anyway. All right, so let's see here. I mean, you know, I'm just saying what I'm saying. Now I gotta fix it because, yeah, I can't physically do that many reads. So hold on, I'm getting it. I think I'm funny. Aw, thank you, J-Dog. I appreciate that, honey. This thing is killing me, I swear. Have to make sure that it's past the time. So stupid. There we go. We'll get it. It's kind of being a pain in the ass tonight. Don't you love technology? I mean, I'm just saying. There you go, guys. There you go. All right. So I will finish up this first one, and then we'll do the next one. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes it puts an end time on there, and there's like, I don't understand. All right, Miss Estella. All right, back to Miss Estella. Honey, you've forgotten about yourself. You've forgotten how to practice self-love. We all have self-love. We all do. Like it just is what it is. But the problem is we get into this mode where we do so much for everyone else that we forget how to care about ourselves. And it used to be mainly women more than men, but now it's kind of both because everybody has all of these almost unrealistic requirements on them that they just can't do it. We just can't do it. The other part is this. Lapis is all about that king queen energy. So when you throw a turtle bone in there, the turtle is a sacred animal in a lot of different shamanic cultures. Even though the turtle is slower, the turtle carries everything with them. The turtle is very strong. The turtle is very powerful. You have forgotten all about this inner power that you have. I don't think forgotten is the right word. You've just kind of let it slide down here. You've let other people's power take over. This is why you're in a pause, okay? This is why you're in a pause. You're in a pause. The universe is like, oh, okay. Stop. I can't let you move forward until we get these things back in order. This is why the wagons need to be circled. This is why that strength, that perseverance, this protection all needs to be put back together. Work on the personal power first. It's the closest. Then work on the self-love. A lot of times this personal power is what is keeping these wagons going. Honey, you need to take your power back. You have to take your power back. You have to, okay? Once you take your power back and it starts really protecting this path and this wagons that you've got here, that's when the self-love will come back in. When you start seeing how powerful you actually are and have been, all of this self-love will come just rushing back in. I promise. Okay? Now, the fox right there is interesting because I don't feel like this is someone else trying to weasel in there. But Miss Estella, you might have just a little bit of chaos energy, and you might have you might be able to spread that a little bit. Just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying. So I want to pause for just a minute because I know you guys on TikTok can't see the comments on YouTube and vice versa. Well, I just happened to look over and I see you there, my Gmail. There's a comment that says, "Dear Bodhi, I just love you. I'm a widow now 4.5 years, and I want you to know how much you've helped me in my healing." You are welcome so much, sweetheart. I'm glad I could help even in just a teeny tiny way. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. Miss Estella, let the pause happen. Pull your power back from all of those bitches that have been stealing it from you, that have been making sure that they're over you. And all the self-love will come back in. And then you can unleash this little bastard right here. This is the fox. This is the trickster. This is the chaos energy. So once you have your personal power, once you have your, I don't even think you need your self-love back. Once you have your personal power back, all of that fox trickster energy is going to come back out. And I actually feel bad. I actually feel bad for anybody that has kept you down, that has been stealing your personal power. Hey, baby, thanks for the fire. All right, Kimber, you ready? All right, we're going to pick this up, and then I'm going to see what's under it. Oh, okay. I don't see the sea glass very much. Okay. I actually thought it was my green quartz, but it's not. Miss Kimber, you actually pulled a few things that I don't see very much, okay? So you have, I'll scoot this back so you can see it. You have the zebra right here. This is actual zebra hide. Thank you for that, love. Zebra is all about teamwork, okay? It's way up here by itself. Way up there by itself. You also have the buffalo. You also have the shell. The buffalo is about perseverance and strength. This is all about protection. Over here, I find it interesting that you have the petrified wood on top, and underneath you have this silver trinket here that in my kit represents spirituality. And you have the sea glass down there, which I rarely see because it's a little piece and it usually sinks to the bottom. So the fact that you have the petrified wood, the grounding over a spiritual aspect, and the sea glass as well, which is all about seeing, all about your clairs. I couldn't words for a minute. All about your clairs. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about. Okay? Yeah. But this right here is a little piece of dyed turquoise howlite, dyed turquoise. This is from my mom's beads from a long time ago. I have 2 beads that are in my kit. Both of them are my mom's. So this one is all about having something nurturing and dispelling anger. So first of all, let's address this. Kimber, I'm really sorry that you feel like you're kind of on your own. I'm sorry you feel like you're on your own. I'm sorry that you don't have a support system. I'm sorry that you don't have, oh, you're welcome, Estella, honey. I'm sorry that you feel like your team is just separated from you. That's a shit place to be, and it's a shit place to have your feels. And so I'm sorry that yours are so separated. The second thing is this. Sometimes we're separated from the people that we thought was our team because they weren't. Rejection is protection, okay? Rejection is protection. So sometimes when those people move on and they are no longer in your team, there's a reason. There's a reason, okay? Then you have down here, in between this team up here and your spiritual part, which we're going to talk about, you have this perseverance and this strength and this protective aspect. Something is hardcore protecting you from some people that used to be in your life. I have a feeling that you aren't the one that cut ties, that everything kind of went like this, and then bam, they haven't come back in. Our spirit team works things in very mysterious ways, and it's awesome the way they do it. And even though these people are out of your life and you've probably been like, what did I do? Like, why did you ghost me or whatever? They put things in motion to separate you from those people. Let those people stay separated, okay? Because this little aspect right here, this petrified wood with the silver underneath and the sea glass underneath, you need to ground yourself back in your own path. Everybody has different spiritual beliefs, okay? Even if, say, there's 950 people in here. Say 900 of us walk a spiritual path. 50 of you walk a Christian spiritual path. Say even 10 of you out of all of those people say you're Wiccan, okay? Christianity has a doctrine. Wicca has a doctrine. Even though those two things have a doctrine in a book you follow, it doesn't mean that you practice or believe the same things. If you guys have never been to different Southern Baptist church, oh my God, they're so fucking different. It's not even funny. Every single person has a different spiritual path, different spiritual beliefs, different things that resonate with them. And you need to ground yourself, Kimber, in what you believe, what resonates with you. Okay? Okay? You need to ground yourself back into the things that connect you to the universe, to the earth around you. You also need to get back to nurturing yourself. Okay? Get back to nurturing yourself. That'll come with getting grounded in your spiritual self. You'll start to kind of cut ties from this. You'll cut ties from a lot of negative people, such as the Trolly McTrollersons that are rampant this evening on the TikTok. You'll automatically push those people out. If you've been asking the universe for that sign that you need to get back into this or back into that, this is it. The universe has been giving you sign after sign after sign, like glaring neon signs. And not the pretty neon signs, the ugly neon signs, okay? So, reground yourself back in your spiritual practice, Kimber, okay? That nurturing will come with it. Your spirit team is protecting you and giving you strength. And those people that have ghosted you and they are no longer in your team, in your path, baby, don't pull them back in. Don't pull them back in. Okay? Now, let me tell you guys this. This is for everybody, Kimber included, but everybody. I put a self-rule in place about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And that was no second chances. That includes for me. If I am talking to somebody, whether it is friendship-wise, love-wise, job-wise, whatever it is, and I don't have enough interest to keep that thing right there and hold on to it and make it grow into something else, then obviously it wasn't for me. And vice versa. If I'm, say, I was talking to somebody, love it when I have a hair in my mouth. I'm talking to somebody and maybe we're talking about going out on a date or whatever. Say we go out and we're talking and then all of a sudden, boop, they disappear. They ghost me. And this happens a lot. Because you guys in the dating world, this happens a lot. And then randomly a couple months they come back and they're like, hey, how are you? What's up? My answer is usually no. Well, not usually. It is no. No. Because here's the thing. If I wasn't enough to hold your attention and you had to find something else, then I will not be enough to hold your attention a second time, nor will I be a backup plan. You guys need to take that mentality. You are not a backup plan. You are not second choice. Period. Period. Okay? You are the prize, my friend. You are not a backup plan. Okay? All right. Miss Janet Kirkland, you ready? Wow. You have really been set into motion in something very interesting. You've been kind of like pulled off the path you thought you were going to be on and put on a brand new path. And the thing is, I think that you're just now starting to see that this brand new path has way more possibilities than anything you ever were a part of before. So we're going to start here and work our way this way. The main reason is because this blank rune is right here, right side up. Okay? Right side up. When a blank rune is right side up, that is limitless possibilities. Limitless possibilities. There's nothing standing in your way. Well, right here, you have the turtle bone. A turtle bone. You have a turtle leg bone, okay? This is literally the foundation, the path that you thought you were on. And it has shifted and changed. Now, you're about to be on this path of actual unlimited possibility. Over here, you have a turtle shoulder bone, which is all about literally shouldering your path, shouldering your strength, shouldering all of that stuff that you carry with you. Underneath it, you have a little tiny piece of zebra, which is about teamwork. Then you have a scroll, which is wisdom. You have a cat vertebrae over here. It was found in the woods, y'all, okay? A cat vertebrae over here that is all about seeing all of the different realms, having 1 foot in each realm and being able to see all the possibilities. You have the seashell, which is about protection. You have the star anise, which is about spiritual protection. And you have the imperial jasper, the pink one, that's all about self-love. Not only are you walking a path, you just got set on a path of absolute limitless possibility. You don't have to shoulder everything for everybody. You actually have a very small, tight-knit group of people around you that not only do you learn from, but you guys exchange wisdom. You actually have found, you've come across a lot of people that are supposed to be in your tribe, and I don't know if you even realize it yet. I think you do. I think some of them have been kind of just, oh my God, this person, I love this person so much, just instantly. But I don't think you realize some of the other ones yet. Not only are you guys trading wisdom, but you're providing each other protection. You're providing each other a different way of looking at things. You're providing each other an amazing amount of spiritual protection and also of self-love. So it's really interesting, the things that are going along with all of the learning that's going on around you. Be watching for other people to come in. I don't mean a ton, maybe just 2 or 3, at 3 at the most, to kind of round out this group here. The wisdom, what cracks me up about the wisdom is this, like it's literally on top of the zebra. Zebra's teamwork, the wisdom is on top of it like this. The things you need to learn to help you truly be limitless in your possibilities come from others. I'm not saying not to read the books, not to watch the videos. I'm not saying any of that, okay? Do all of those things. But sometimes we learn the most from other people than we do from books. I've got all those. I've got tons and tons of books. I have tons and tons of books on Audible. I have watched hundreds of hours of videos, read articles, all those things. I've been doing this most of my life. I still, on a daily basis, learn more from other people, just the way that they look at things with a fresh mind, with a fresh attitude. And it's fantastic. Y'all, don't ever underestimate the power of learning from other people, even if they have only been practicing a couple of months. Now, am I saying to go take classes from somebody that has been practicing a couple months? No, but some of these newer practitioners are putting out videos on interesting ways of doing things. And when you come across them, you're like, holy shit, that's genius. Because they saw something different. Okay? Don't underestimate learning from other people. This was for Miss Janet Kirkland. Keep on learning from other people. You have an amazing, amazing, bright, wide open path in front of you. Yeah. All right. Tashina Ramsey. Hey, William, thank you for subscribing. You are so welcome, honey. Ooh, danger, danger, Will Robinson. Okay. Man, you're kind of in the middle of a really, really weird situation. All right. All right, here we go. You have the big zebra upside down. You have a peach pit. You have the silver raven head here with a beak pointed like straight down at that. Then in a jumble right here, you have the turtle shoulder bone. You have the titanium quartz. You have the cat vertebrae. And you have the little scroll. Then you have the dyed red quartz and the dyed green quartz. And then you have the imperial jasper. This is just a cluster. This is a cluster. So let's start with the red quartz. Okay? Let's start with the red quartz. The red quartz is the danger, danger, Will Robinson thing in here. This is the, hey, kind of pause, take a stop, take a look, do not pass go. You have this like push and pull thing going on. And the thing is, I think it started with a single person and now it has morphed into this whole fucking situation. And every time you turn around, it's like this. Okay? The reason I say it's a push and pull is I knew I was going to yawn, so I'm like waiting for it. I'm like, come on, man, yawn. Okay. You have the titanium quartz right up the middle here. The titanium quartz is like the strength, the backbone, okay? On one side, you have the turtle shoulder bone, meaning that you are the one shouldering the responsibility, the whatever it is. You are the one shouldering the vast majority of the things. And as long as you shoulder the things, everything's good. In other words, as long as you are the scapegoat, as long as you are the worker bee, as long as you are the one that does everything, everything's good. However, when the logical part of your brain takes over and you're like, look, bitch, like you've got to help me here. You've got to do the work. You've got to carry your weight. Then it's this. It's full stop. So this leads me to ask, like, this right here, this is either a really toxic, well, this is a really toxic relationship. It's either a work relationship or it is a romantic relationship. Either way, it is not a good relationship. And the thing is, the cat vertebrae right here, you keep having to walk on eggshells. You keep having to, like, literally pussyfoot around to make sure that you are doing all of the things so this other person in the situation doesn't blow the fuck up. So you and all of the things that you need to be happy and be calm and be whole are not happening unless you're shouldering all of the weight. You also feel like you can't really talk to very many people about it. And I think a lot of it is because the person that's the main culprit of the situation, if this is a work situation, then they're higher up than you. They've been there longer, whatever it is. And so if you're like, hey, so-and-so is fucking with me, then they're going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if this is a relationship thing, then this person is super charming. I'm not saying it's a like complete narcissist, but this person has a lot of narcissistic tendencies. The other thing is this, that peach pit right there, the way that it's up like this, you are the one carrying all of the relationship. You are the one. Am I saying that this person doesn't value you? Yes and no. They value you for all the things you're doing for them. So if you don't do the things for them, then you're the piece of shit. But the raven head here, see how it's pointed straight down like that, straight into that titanium quartz? There's fixing to be a really, really big rude awakening in this whole situation. Okay? Okay? So here's the thing, Tashina. And please let me know if I'm saying your name wrong, okay? Please let me know. What this feels like, because all of these are so tight-knit right here, is that this is a situation you feel like you can't get out of. You feel like there just needs to be one string pulled to get you out of this. Okay, good. But you don't know which string to pull. The universe is about to pull the string for you. So when the universe pulls the string, it's going to unravel this just enough that you can take off. You can run, you can do what you need to do, okay? It's just a weird situation. It's like super complicated, super intricate, super weird. And you've kind of just like gone along to get along for so long that I think the thought of being out of it terrifies you. Sometimes we stay in a situation, we stay with a person, we stay in a certain job because the devil we know is so much easier to deal with than something brand new. But it's up to you if you want to step out of the situation when the universe pulls the right string and everything kind of opens up. Okay? So now I want to know, is this a work thing or is this a personal thing? I'm curious. Inquiring Bodies want to know. Personal? Gotcha. So you understand what I'm talking about? Aw, thank you, Luz. How is Peru? You're welcome, Tashina, honey. So for those of you guys that are like, this really resonates, what the fuck, you know, here's the thing. a lot of times we come across someone's reading, we come across a message that's for someone else exactly when we need to hear it as well. Okay? I'm just saying what I'm saying. Just saying what I'm saying. Watch for the universe to pull that string. Okay? Aw, thank you, that bitch, Ashley. Sometimes I want to be me when I grow up too. Thank you. But I will say this. If the universe pulls the string for you to step out of that tangle of shit, it will also have everything in line for you to move forward. Okay? We have to lose everything that goes with that shit situation before we can have an amazing move forward. Just trust me. Just trust me. Okay. All right, sugar. April Williams, you're next, honey. For those of you guys that are asking what a bone reading is, this is a bone reading. I have a whole big massive kit of bones, trinkets, leathers, etc. that I have put together over several years. So yeah. All right, April. And for those of you guys asking, yes, they are on YouTube. All right. So you have two separate situations. And I don't even know which one to address first. I don't even know which one to address first. Let's address this one, okay? We'll just go for that one. So you have the Larkovite here, which is black labradorite. Then you have the muskrat tooth. You have the peach pit, and you have the stained up warthog tooth. So this right here, is a male presence that's in your life. Let him figure it out. Okay? Let him figure it out. And I'm going to tell you why. The black labradorite, the Larkovite right here is underneath all of these, and everything is going like this. Okay? Right now, he's kind of fighting with himself internally on which way to be. Yes, he needs to be strong and protective and focused and, you know, fierce. But over here, this muskrat tooth on this side, this male presence here, he's super intelligent. Not only is he super intelligent, but he is super logical, very analytical. I would not be surprised in any way, shape, or form to find out that he's on the spectrum, that he's just, his mind is just brilliant and works in a very, I almost said odd, but that's not the right word. It's just a very unique way. So he sees things a lot differently. He really needs to be protected as he moves forward, but he has to figure it out himself, okay? Because if you try to be like, you have to do the whole inception here, because if you try to help him figure it out, this warthog part here is going to come out and he's going to buck everything. He is not going to listen, okay? But by letting him figure it out and letting him walk his own path, you're going to see this amazing brilliance right here by being supportive, by helping him in any way you can. He has so much potential. So much potential. Like this dude is smart as fuck. Like the kind of smart that changes the world, okay? But let him figure it out on his own. Okay. So now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this one up here. It's not often that I say something like this, but for right now, for this moment, April, put your spiritual path just kind of on pause. Okay? Just kind of pause. Here's why. This rune being upside down is also on top of this silver feather, which not only represents femininity, but it represents, I actually said it right without getting worded. Isn't that bad? Instead of like fucking, because usually when I try to say femininity, it's like it doesn't, it's just one of those words like rural. I can't fucking say that word either. That just fucks me up. So then I say it right and I'm like, holy shit, I said it right. And then that fucks me up worse than anything. But I digress. Anyway, this right here is all about the feminine, the spiritual. But the blank rune being upside down is a pause in this path. Then you have the petrified wood also on top of that little blank rune. It's time to kind of pause that, okay? It's time to kind of pause your spiritual path. Just a smidge, just for a second. I don't think it's for a very long time because this petrified wood is just barely over that rune, okay? So don't stress about that, but just kind of pause for just a minute. I have a feeling that it's to let this bloom a little bit. But this dude right here is just brilliant, sugar. He's just brilliant. Now, I can't say for sure that this is because of him, but there is something that you need to just pause for a minute. We have to pause in our spiritual path a lot. A lot. A spiritual path is never just a continual constant. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. It's insane. It is a complete pause and then slamming yourself forward. Like it's whiplash. Like there's no like nice, soft, lazy river, go on down the pike. There's just not. Right now, you need to pause just a little bit. Okay? Yeah. So, I hope that helps. Hope that helps. Okay? That makes sense, April? Do you know which male I'm talking about? Marenda Singletary. You ready? Ooh, okay. Yes, these will all be done tonight, and they will all be on YouTube. All right. Marenda, one of your kids? Okay. Okay. Marenda, are you here? We need to have some chatty chit chats. Here's why. There's a lot of shit going on here. The main thing I saw first, so there are two raven heads in here. There are two silver raven heads. One is like a trinket off of for earrings or whatever. And then there's another one that's more like just the skull that I don't even know where I got it. The one that's the trinket is like this. It's on its side and like this. The one that's the skull is over it like this. And inside of it is a muskrat eardrum. Then up here, you have a rattlesnake rib bone underneath the turtle shoulder. I was hoping to see that you were here, but that's okay. You'll be watching this on YouTube, and let me just say this. Before I even start reading any of this, you need to cleanse your space horribly bad. Not only do you need to cleanse your space horribly bad, but you need to up your protections. This is all about some spiritual shit, okay? No, I'm not going to tell you have an attachment, okay? No, I'm not going to tell you you have a hex or whatever the fuck. What this is, though, is this is a lot of butting heads with someone. This is a lot of negative manifestation that's being done in your way. We're actually going to start up here, okay? We're going to start up here with this rattlesnake rib because this bitch is underneath that turtle shoulder bone, meaning that there is someone that is doing everything they can to undermine your responsibilities, to undermine the things that you are proud of, the things that you have been doing for a long time. I don't know. They're literally just doing everything they can. They're doing everything they can. From just speaking out against you to actively working against you. Like, fuck that person. Like, fuck that person. They're just fucking with you. You have the turtle knuckle bone here and a tiger's eye. And then you have this big piece of petrified wood, the cat vertebrae, and a fucking alligator tooth right there. The more you try to ground, the more they dig their teeth in. The more you try to ground and the more you get ahead by just clawing your way forward, the more they start to make you feel like you're on the wrong path. I hope that makes sense, okay? But let's talk about this over here, and then we're going to talk about it all together as a whole, okay? Because remember how I talked about these raven heads and one's on its side and one's upside down? You're the one that's on the side. Okay. You also have this little bit of zebra right here. So you have people on your side that are behind you. They're on your side. They're trying to help you. However, here's why I said this stuff is spiritual. Whoever this raven head is, that whoever is represented with this, that's upside down, they have that muskrat eardrum inside of that raven head. They are not listening. They don't want to listen. It's not that they can't listen. It's not that they don't see what's going on. They don't want to. They don't want to. They have made up their mind and they don't want to. This is also someone that is a little more experienced with their spiritual path than you realize they are. So the person I'm talking about here is this same person that's undermining everything you do. Now, Miss Miranda, let me say this, and this, I want all of you guys to listen. It does not matter what spiritual path someone follows. There is always, in every spiritual path, something that that person can do to be negative to you, to be negative to someone else, to be negative in a situation. Spirituality, witchcraft, Wicca, etc. is pretty easy because you know the other person, they're probably putting you in a jar, they're lighting a candle, they're doing something like that, okay? They're actively manifesting something bad for you. But I know people think that, oh, well, you know, with Christianity, it's like the Bible and it's just praying and so on. You can pray for bad things to happen to people. And if you guys think that there are people in all faiths that don't pray for bad things to happen to somebody they dislike, you need to open your brain, because every single type of faith, spiritual, religious belief, there are people that try to manipulate the universe to do bad shit. Okay? So, no matter what this person's spiritual background is, they are actively trying to use it to undermine all of your responsibilities, Miranda. I'm going to tell you this, okay? Keep grounding yourself. Don't stop. even though you keep grounding yourself and they keep digging in even harder, keep grounding yourself. Keep grounding yourself. The thing about someone trying to do something bad when it's undeserved is this. No matter if you believe in karma, the threefold law, the tenfold law, the 90 million, whatever the fuck, there is a tit for tat with the universe, okay? If you are doing what you're supposed to do, if you're being a good person, if you're moving through life and you're just being a good person, and somebody for some reason takes something you did and they think that you're being a dick or whatever, and so they start sending all this bad shit back to you and you didn't do anything to them, they can fuck with you a little bit, but eventually all of that shit that they're doing to fuck with you is going to come back on them so hard fucking core. And here's what's even funnier, especially in the spiritual community, okay? In the witchy community. You get someone that, let's just say we have Jack and we have Jill, okay? Jill's over here minding her fucking business and she's just doing her little thing and she's just going along. Well, Jack, for some reason, thinks that Jill did something bad to him. Or maybe he tried to, ask Jill out. Jill said no, and that's a slight. And so now he's going to do something, okay? So he does something towards Jill. Well, Jill didn't do anything to deserve that something. And it might jinx her a little bit. It might hex her a little bit. It might cause some problems, might cause some shit. And she doesn't know what's going on. So all she does is just up her protections. Maybe does a reversal, maybe, return to sender, whatever. Jack is going to keep on doing the shit. And then eventually it's not going to stick to Jill because Jill ain't doing shit. The universe is going to be like, look, man, like, girl didn't do shit to you. So have it all back. The universe is going to send it right back over to him. Heap the fuck on top of him. And then here's what's even funnier. He's going to think she did it back to him. So then he does more. So then it gets amplified back more. Do you see what I'm saying? So keep grounding yourself, Marenda, because whoever this is right here, whatever it is that they're trying to manifest and undermine with you, it's going to eventually backfire in a fantastical way. In a fantastical way. And what's even better is you don't have to lift a fucking finger. You don't have to lift a fucking finger. Because they're going to think you're doing all this crazy shit back to them and you're not. And it's great. It's great. So then even when something bad happens that is their fault, they're going to think it was you. So in the end, you're going to be the one living rent-free in their head when you have long forgot about every bit with them. I know it's hard. I know it's hard right now, especially while this person is actively fucking with you. And I'm sorry you're dealing with this, sweetie. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, Marenda. I'm sorry. Ground yourself. Have your protections in place. I mean, and if you need to throw a return to sender, then do so. Just saying what I'm saying. People be doing stupid shit. All right. Miss Suzzane Horn. You ready, Miss Suzzane? I mean, I may have gotten some really good new candles in at the shop today. Oh, okay. I don't see that one a lot. Interesting. Put it right back under there. Okay. All right, Miss Suzzane. So one thing that teeth represent is actually abundance, believe it or not. You have this row right here where you have a deer tooth. The deer represents peace. You also have the scroll, which is wisdom. You have the alligator tooth right here, which is all about ferocity and the ancients. And then you have the buffalo bone up here, which is all about strength, perseverance. You actually have a wealth of knowledge, more so than I think you give yourself credit for, Suzzane. Way more than you give yourself credit for. And I think the reason that you feel like you don't have as much knowledge as you do is because you use this knowledge for gentle things. You use this knowledge for peace. You use this knowledge to use this knowledge for things to be better. Okay? But the problem is you also have to, even if you are one of those people that they're newer to your practice, this is for anybody. People that are newer to their practice, that are all love and light. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. So please don't think I'm saying that. Okay? Eventually you will realize you have to be fierce. You have to be protected. You have to be a protector. And you have to be on the offensive sometimes. And that's where you're losing this connection. For some reason, when you try to be that fierce protector right here, when you try to pull up a lot of that other stuff that's not all the good little love and light things, I don't know if lately you're feeling the disconnect from it, you're feeling bad doing it. I'm not sure why there's an opening right there. There's some kind of disconnect here. So I would say this. If you are feeling this disconnect because you don't feel right in the nasty part, or if you are feeling this disconnect because it's almost like the things that you used to do aren't working anymore, I would say to strengthen up your protections first. And then I would go back and I would look in a completely different avenue than where you've been doing things before. Okay? The reason I say that is because of all this up here, and I'll explain more about that here in just a second. Because you have the big piece of petrified wood, you have the shell, so grounding, protection. But then the thing, I was like, what is that? Like, I haven't seen that in a hot minute. That's a fox claw. That's a claw. Foxes represent the moon. They represent the night. They represent the feminine, but they also represent a lot of trickery. It's almost as if you've gotten too grounded in yourself and your practice, and that's why you're having a problem having that ferocity come out. When we get too grounded and too peaceful, we sometimes have a problem letting people walk all over us because, I mean, we're grounded, we're peaceful, everything's fine. So somebody comes in and takes a little bit and we're like, yeah, well, it's okay. I don't want to deal with it right now, so I'm just going to let them do that. Well, then they do a little more, and they do a little more, and they do a little more because we've let them. Because we're like, you know what? My whole life, everything is peaceful right now. I don't want to argue with them. So we start to be complacent, and then they just walk the fuck all over us. That's kind of what's going on. This ferocity right here, you need to get that back. You need to let this trickster energy out again, Suzzane. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So, here's what I'm going to recommend. Here's what I'm going to recommend. Read you some articles, some books, find you some videos, some how-tos, or find you some interesting musical meditations for different trickster spirits that you resonate with. Everybody has different paths, different, you get it busy about things. Good, good. I'm glad you're not taking it lately. Look at some of the different trickster spirits that resonate with the path you follow, okay? So in Norse culture, it's Loki. Every different indigenous culture has a trickster spirit, a trickster deity. In ancient Egypt, it's usually Set. In Greek mythology, there's several. There's actually several. It's usually Pan, but there's several. So just look at the pantheon, the area, etc., that resonates with you the most. And if you can't figure out which one resonates with you the most, look at several of them. Okay? Look at several of them. But you need to connect to, you need to connect to the more trickstery side of things. You need to connect to the trickstery side of things, Suzzane. That's going to bridge that gap right there. And the thing is, it's also going to power up your knowledge and your ferocity. Trickster spirits are not always a bad thing. They're not, okay? Everybody looks at things in a serious black and white, good and bad. But that's not always the case, especially when it comes to a spiritual practice. It's not always the case. I'm just saying what I'm saying. The reason that we're taught certain things are good and certain things are bad is because either, you know, marketing, manipulation, or Hollywood, or all of the above. I would go learn about all the trickster spirits and see which ones resonate with you, Suzzane. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Go do the trickstery things. Go have some fun. You're kind of getting permission. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you just let me know if you need any direction. You just let me know. We got you. Okay? Just because I've done a few readings for you and I kind of remember a little bit about what's going on, there's a lot of amazing trickstery things that you can do for that situation. And I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better. All right. Mulumbet. Oh, good night, Chris. I hope you sleep well, honey. All right. Woo, okay. Whatever you've been doing lately, Mulumbet. Aw, you're welcome, sweetie. Love right back to you, honey. Whatever you've been doing, you're on a major path to abundance, okay? Like the very first thing I see is like the big old green crystal right there. But you also have a tooth up here. Oh, wait. Okay. Woohoo. Okay. I was like, wait, there's something underneath there. Underneath the zebra is the star anise. So abundance, grounding, the team, your team, with a lot of spiritual protection up underneath your team. The deer tooth, which is peace. There's not a lot of shouldering, too much burden, a lot of knowledge and a lot of strength. Okay. So I'm just gonna say Mo instead of murdering your name every time. And I hope I'm not murdering your name. But honey, whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been manifesting, whatever you've been, sorry, drinking all the Pepsi. whatever it is that you've been working towards, sweetheart, you are doing the right thing. You may not be seeing the abundance just yet, but all of that framework is being laid in place. You have some amazing ancestors behind you. I'm sure that, well, I can't say I'm sure. Most people know a little bit where they come from. I know that there are some people that don't. Sorry, my tattoo is hurting up under here, so I'm like, let's tuck this shirt in. It hurts. For those of you guys that are new to watching me, we'll finish more in just a second. For those of you guys that are new to watching me, I had a bucket list goal this year. I started in January. I'm going to end in January, right before my birthday. My goal was to have 2 full sleeves, to have all of my tattoos tied together in 2 full sleeves. So every month I drive to Oklahoma City. I see my tattoo artist, and yeah. So Wednesday, I got the inner part of my arm from literally pit to ditch, ditch to pit. And it hurts a little bad. So anyway, so I'm going to tuck my shirt up there and look really gross, but I don't care. All right, Mul. So your ancestral team behind you, the more you get in line with that, the more abundant you're going to be. But whatever you've been manifesting, all of this knowledge you've been gaining lately, honey, you're about to rocket forward. I would say hold on to your pants, have your big kid pants on, and be ready for it, okay? Because sometimes success can come so fast that if we're not ready for it, it looks like a disaster. You get everything you want all at once, and you don't know where to put your energy because it's just like, bacham. So know that that's coming. Your manifestation has been working. All of the knowledge you've been gaining, like all of this is, baby, this is just fantastic. This is just fantastic, Mo, okay? Just hold on to your butt, okay? Just hold on to your butt. Because when it starts, it's not going to stop. And it's going to be a lot really fucking quickly. And you're literally going to be like the person up in the plane with your lips fucking flapping because you're going at 10 G's and you're not even used to 1 G. Just saying. Just saying, get your flight suit now. Get your flight suit now, Mo, okay? This is great. This makes me happy. This makes me really happy. Abundance, protected, grounded, knowing all the things, strength. Yeah, all the things, Mo. All the things. I hope that helps. All right. Aw, thank you, love. Yeah, if you guys would like to see what I got the other day, it is on my Instagram. All right. Andrea. Woo. Look at you stopping some shit. Okay. This is for Andrea Walker. You ready? The very first thing I notice is the rattlesnake rib right here. Try not to burp in y'all's faces. Gotta love Pepsi. You have the rattlesnake rib, but you have the feather over it. You have the feather over it. In other words, you stop some shit. The feather is feminine, it's spiritual, it's over that rattlesnake rib, meaning that you stopped something major, spiritual-wise, coming your way, okay? Are you doing some shit and some stuff? I'm just asking, are you doing some shit and some stuff? Andrea, are you doing some shit and some stuff? Here's why I ask. Because A, that's the first thing I saw. This stoppage of this, somebody trying to fuck with you. But over here, you have this warthog tusk, and you have a star anise up above it. Okay? You have the star anise above it. See? In other words, you've cut off somebody's spiritual protection. Not only have you cut off someone's spiritual protections, but it's like you literally are absolutely swinging around those big old guns everywhere because you have the strength, you have your grounding, and then you have your spiritual. Girl, you've been fucking with somebody. And I mean, to be honest, like, I'm proud of you because I don't think it wasn't unwarranted. Let me say it that way. It wasn't unwarranted. They were obviously doing something to you. And the way that this looks to me, it's almost like they've been doing it for a while and you finally got fed up and just put your fucking foot down on it. And it's like, you know, some little bitty teeny tiny snake like this, and they're just doing it like, and thought your boot was only this big. Well, it turns out your boot was like massive and was like, bam. Yeah, somebody fucked around and found out. Like, this is hilarious. I'm proud of you. I think that so I'm just curious. Did you just need confirmation? Did you just need confirmation that what you had been doing is working? Because a lot of times when we do something like that, I hate it when my bangs do this, pisses me off. A lot of times when we do something, we may not get to see the confirmation because we're not privy to every single thing in someone's life. Even if you are married to someone, you spend 24 hours a day with someone, there is still going to be stuff that you're not privy to. It just is. Whether it's their thoughts, whether it's their feelings, whatever, there's always going to be something. So when you're, not around that person all the time, it can be hard to know if something that you did or that you're doing helps or hurts them, unless you have somebody that's literally feeding you all this information. So this is kind of confirmation that, yeah, you did absolutely stop what they were doing to you. And you also kind of blocked their own spiritual protections in a way. Like, you're absolutely fucking with them. They're getting hardcore fucked over right now. And I don't think you're going to know it just yet. By the time you do know it, thank you, Britt. I appreciate that. By the time you do know it, it's going to be like already embedded way down in there. And then you're just going to have this amazing cackle. But yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm just saying. I'm proud of you. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying, Andrea. Do the shit and the stuff, girl. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I mean? Because when I said, are you doing some shit and some stuff? You said, possibly. Yeah. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my God, that's funny. So somebody asked how this doesn't break in there. These things are actually pretty fucking strong. They're pretty fucking strong. So rattlesnake ribs, especially this size, like that's only half, which means this snake was at least that big around. Okay, that's a big fucking rattlesnake. I'm just saying what I'm saying. But these things are actually really fucking strong. Okay? Really fucking strong. All right, May. I can't pronounce your last name, May. Just May A. Burrowshed, is that right? Burrowshed? So I have May, Jessica, Shannon, Dakota. I have more. Don't freak out. Okay, those are just the last one on my list here. So the vast majority of the bones in here come from, I have a friend up, I have a few different friends up in Seattle that deal with a lot of roadkill for the state. And then some of them I found. So yeah. Well. Okay. All right, May, you ready? You have the turtle shoulder up there. You have the silver trinket. Then you have the buffalo bone. You also have the blank rune upside down. You have the larkovite. You have the titanium quartz. You have the big petrified wood, and I had to lift it up, see what was underneath. There is actually a bobcat knuckle bone under there. Then you have the silver raven head upside down. You have a raccoon fang up here. And then way up here, you also have a rattlesnake skull. So let's have a chit chat. This is a lot. Let's start here. Let's start with the rattlesnake skull. And then we'll move to the raccoon tooth, because those two are easy to get out of the way. These two are just confirmation of something going on. Okay? So let's start with the rattlesnake skull. The rattlesnake skull is, yes, you absolutely made the right decision in removing this person from your life, in cutting ties, in removing yourself from that situation. They really aren't messing with you anymore. They have kind of shifted to be fucking with someone else. So just don't let that person live rent-free in your head anymore, okay? You absolutely made the right decision. Stop stressing about that. They absolutely were a rattlesnake, and they needed to go somewhere else. You made the right decision. Now let's talk about the raccoon over here. This one is interesting because this is someone older. I'm going to say male person. Male person. This one right here is a male, but it's someone younger, okay? This one right here, you're not going to get through to them. Like, you're not going to get through to them. They have everything in their own mind, how it's supposed to go. They don't want to listen right now, and that's absolutely fine, okay? Just let them be themselves. Let them do their thing. Don't just let them do their thing. Okay? Just let them do their thing. Now let's talk about all that. Because, wow. All right, let's start here, and we'll kind of unpack and go up. There's a reason that you feel like your spiritual self, the things you normally do, your practices, etc., aren't as powerful lately. There's a reason. Part of it is you have kind of cut your own self off somehow from your grounded self. Now, I keep feeling movement with this, so I don't know if you have stopped doing your grounding ritual, or you really aren't in the same place where you can do it anymore. The bobcat knuckle underneath there too is you need to start standing up more for your own personal time. You need to start standing up more for, no, this is my time to ground. This is my spiritual path. You know, I need this time. You don't get part of it. You need to be really selfish about that. Okay? Everybody needs their own alone time. I am that person that my shower time is like my alone time. That's it. I don't share it. Doesn't matter how long. I was married for 15 years and it's still, no, this is my time. If I'm soaking in the bath or something like that, like, don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Everybody needs to have something like that. You need to really, this titanium quartz right here, like, you need to absolutely set that as, this is mine. This has to happen. Leave me the fuck alone. Your spiritual advisor is telling you that you have to have some time, something on a daily basis that's just for May. That's it. No one else gets any of that time. even if it's 5 minutes. You need that time to reground yourself because you feel like you're cut off from the things you used to do that helped you ground. That's why you're having all these other issues. And we're going to talk about all of that because this is a lot of shit, okay? When you're not grounded in your spiritual self and that, I knew that was coming. That ferocity of, I don't think you're a ferocious person, but that ferocity of protecting your spiritual self, then you not only feel cut off from your spiritual protective layer, but also from your path. Having the rune upside down tells me that you also feel like something has just shut the door on your spiritual path. Having this buffalo bone over the silver trinket right there, it's almost like you're putting too much emphasis on trying to shove yourself forward. Does that make sense? Sometimes we get so caught up in moving forward that it's like you don't see the forest for the trees. Does that make sense? Everybody has heard that saying. We get so caught up in moving forward that we don't see, hear, touch, smell, breathe. We don't see the path for the path. All we see is the moving forward. And this is something that everybody is guilty of, myself included. Every single spiritual person out there, no matter what you think of them, is guilty of this. Guilty probably isn't the right word. It happens to everybody, okay? We start rushing forward for the sake of having a path to rush forward on. We judge ourselves against other people, and we're like, well, I should be further. I should be further, blah, blah, blah. And we rush forward, and then we look back and we're like, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that. So you're going to have to kind of force yourself to stop and look back at all of the things, literally, I would say over the last 6 to 8 months. Just take stock of all the things you've accomplished, all the things you've learned, all the things that you've stopped doing, all the things that you left behind. Like literally just kind of take stock of the last 6 to 8 months. To be honest, just doing that is going to help you ground more in yourself because you've rushed forward so fast, like the floodgates just flew open. Sometimes free falling is great, but the problem is there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to hold on to. The view is awesome, but you can't touch any of it. You can't smell any of it. You can't, walk through things. You're just looking at it. So I'm going to advise you to just stop and pause and take stock of the last 6 to 8 months. That's going to help you ground. It's going to help you just suck yourself right back down to where you need to be. And then I have a feeling that all of this will turn right back over and you'll be able to move forward. You'll also be in a much more powerful position. Does that make sense, May? I did see that you say you stopped journaling. We all need to get back to spiritual aspects we did at the beginning of our journey, myself included. Every now and then you just kind of have to stop and you have to go back to those very first few things that you used to do that just made you feel like this spiritual powerhouse. Okay? If that's journaling for you, then by all means, babe, do it. Okay? Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. But yes, you made the right decision by letting this older male go, by blocking them out of your life. And this younger male here, they're too hard-headed, and they're going to do what they're going to do. So you have to just kind of let them do their thing. You just have to let them do their thing. Okay? I hope that helps. So yeah, your ex. Gotcha. All right, girly. Get back to doing the things that make you you. Aw, you're welcome, Miss May. I'm glad I could help, honey. All right. Jessica H, you ready? How bleep? I'm sure I just murdered your last name, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right, Jessica. Go big or go home. You wanted to pull out all the big pieces. Okay. I'm going to say this, Miss Jessica, okay? Honey, it's okay to wear a fucking crown. It's okay to go buy your own crown. It's okay to buy a bigger crown than someone else has. You have the lapis, you have the big piece of petrified wood, you have the star anise over the big piece of zebra, and then you have the Celtic Trinity knot here underneath the zebra. I love you right back, Abby. Good night, honey. Go buy yourself that crown. Seriously. Go buy yourself the fucking crown. Go buy the big one. The one that has all the fucking gems in it. Okay? Do it. No one is going to get it for you. Stop. Well, let me say it this way. Stop waiting. Stop waiting on someone to get it for you. Stop waiting on them. You don't need them to do it for you. You don't want them to do it for you, because then they're going to feel like you owe them something. The people that are around you right now, and you know exactly the good ones that I'm talking about, they're going to support you and protect you no matter what. No matter if you get the little tiny crown with just a little gem here, or if you get that big old bitch where you can't even go through the door. I recommend that latter one, okay? They're going to support you no matter what, because they have this amazing, you have literally amazing people around you. They love you. They support you. Like, this is a soulmate family right here. Y'all, soulmates don't have to, or they are not just love relationships, okay? These can be best friends. They can be parents. They can be siblings. They can be aunts, uncles, cousins, etc., okay? We all have them. And I know that you feel like you aren't as grounded lately as you used to be in the past, but guess what? Guess what? Sometimes we get too grounded, and then we kind of get fucked up a little bit, because you can be too grounded. You can be too grounded. And that's where you were. So now that you're getting back to the norm, that you're getting back to being just normally grounded, you feel like you're kind of floating a little bit. You're not. I promise. I promise you're not. You're not going to float off. You're not going to be ungrounded. I promise. Go buy yourself the big crown, girl. Seriously. Okay? Stop waiting on someone else to get it for you. Just go grab the bitch. Add to it. Go buy the big one and add to it. Okay? Stop waiting. Stop waiting. That makes sense, love? Right back at you, Jody, honey. You're welcome. You're welcome. Like, you're like, I think so. Go take the crown, okay? Don't wait for someone to get it for you. Don't wait. Don't wait. Hey, Mega Pint, how are you? All right. Shannon Collins. Hey, Lazy Joe. Oh, well, now I gotta pick that up. Okay, that's just the end of that. Okay, I was like, what the hell is that? All right. So Miss Shannon, I gotta fix my legs all over again. Okay. I was gonna start here, but we're gonna start here. So you have the pink imperial jasper. You have the deer tooth. Then underneath here, you have the muskrat tooth. You have the zebra. You have the scroll. You have the big silver trinket up here. All right. Honey, you absolutely have, someone that is trying to get your attention. This is a lady that is no longer here. Someone that was a happy place for you. They didn't tout their knowledge a lot as much as other people did, but they were always like the backbone of the family. They always did everything. It's like they knew everything, but they never were boisterous about it, braggadocious about it. But she is absolutely been trying to get your attention. Can't do the spamming. She's been trying to get your attention. Now, I have a feeling that she's probably been gone for a little bit and she's just figured out how to communicate really well. And her communication is much different than you're used to. So the problem is this. She's overwhelming you with stuff. And I think that it's coming across as either somebody messing with you or it's kind of scaring you a little bit. And she doesn't realize that. She's just trying to get your attention. So here's what I'm going to say, Miss Shannon. I was going to say sit down and talk to her, but the thing is, I don't think she's going to really listen because she's just, it's just excitement. You know how when little kids get super excited, like you can't shut them up? Like you can't shut them up. They're not going to sit down. They're just going to keep going. Just blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. That's exactly what she is. That's exactly how she is. She's just super excited that she's realized how to, or she's figured out how to communicate with you. Don't let it overwhelm you, and know that it's not someone messing with you. And whenever I was talking about this lady, if you know exactly who this is, I would talk to her. Ask for a specific sign. Ask for a specific sign. I know you ask about how long she's been gone, and I can't really give you a good answer. I just feel this gap, okay? So everybody has a different timeline of when they start communicating with people that are still here. Some people it's instant, and some people it's like never. I mean, so there's no timeline. Okay. So I just see this gap where it's like she was gone and then there's this gap, like you haven't heard from her. And now it's this overwhelming amount of signs, but they're not coming across as signs. They're coming across as like almost scary in a way. Does that make sense? So here's what I would say. If you're unsure which woman this is, say, hey, so-and-so, if this is you, will you start sending me pink butterflies? And hey, so-and-so, if this is you, will you start sending me green pigs? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Ask for a specific sign, because that's what she needs, is some kind of direction. Okay? Because she's just literally flinging everything at you to get your attention, and it's nothing sticking because it's just everything. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this, Shannon. Once you give her a specific thing that you want to know if it's her, and you get that connection, it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to overwhelm you because she has a very, very, I don't want to say intense, very strong energy. So whatever it was she was doing for so long, when there was no communication, it's almost like she's been saving up and it's just going to be like, okay? So, yeah. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. It's going to be overwhelming. Okay? It's going to be overwhelming. Just letting you know. All right? Intense. So do you know who it is now? And you can ask for her to communicate with you in your dreams too. Okay? All right, Dakota. Oh, no. Screenshot. And I'm gonna do this. Bam. Yeah, you don't come in someone else's live and start scamming. Especially in mine. I have a special spot for y'all. Just saying what I'm saying. The Bodhi is stressed out. The Bodhi is spicy Bodhi a lot this week. So if you come in here and you start scamming, guess what's going to happen? You in trouble. You in trouble. All right. Dakota, ready? All right. You see that? You're standing in the way. You are standing in the way of your own abundance. Like, we're going to talk about all of this, okay? But see the green crystal underneath the big piece of petrified wood? You're standing in your own way. It's like, instead of just letting things happen, instead of going with the flow, instead of going where the universe is taking you, you're trying to put too many parameters on it. What I was looking at is you also have the Celtic infinity knot here. And this almost is like a spiral. It's really interesting. So first of all, Dakota, you're standing in your own way. But second of all, you're not paying attention to ancestrally where your lineage comes from. A lot of times when we get into the spiritual aspect of things and we start to really delve down our path, we tend to forget that we're super connected. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're super connected to our ancestors, to our DNA, to where we come from. And we get so caught up in trying to learn this or read that or do this or look at this deity or look at that or whatever, that we forget that this over here is like literally where our blood, our meat sack, all of that DNA comes from. We forget. So you've kind of forgotten that. So not only are you standing in your own way, but you've kind of disconnected yourself from your own ancestors. The other thing I find is interesting is right here is this, I myrtleize this name every single time. Vesuvianite. I can't ever say it correctly. And it's one of my favorite stones, but it is what it is. This is a stone that helps to cleanse your aura. Now, I'm not just going to tell you to cleanse your aura because that's a given. What this stone does, not only does it cleanse, but it also repairs holes in your aura. Okay? That's why I said this is a spiral. Like, I'm just going to keep going and we're going to talk about it, okay? So you have some holes you have to repair. This other bead right here, if you were watching earlier, I said there are 2 beads in my kit that both came from my mom's beads. And this is one of them. This is another piece of dyed howlite, and it's kind of a teardrop shape. You've got a lot of grief and a lot of lost nurturing that you're not dealing with. You've literally put it in a little box and pushed it way down there, and you're not dealing with it. Then you have the cat vertebrae over here, which is all about having your legs, having your feet, having your stance in 2 different realms. But the problem is it's sticking straight up, okay? It's not on the side, it's not on its back, it's sticking straight up. So you're trying too hard to be in too many different realms at the same time. Then over here, you have the blank rune right side up. So you know that you have this unlimited potential going forward. Up here, you have the bobcat knuckle right next to this big silvery trinket, which to me in my kit is all about spirituality. So I know we started this way and went like that. Now we're going to start here and we're going to kind of go back, okay? The bobcat knuckle next to this big spiritual piece right here tells me that you're being too fierce, too hardcore, too all or nothing with your spiritual self, with your spiritual path. You know that you have unlimited potential, but this being all or nothing and having this aspect of trying to push too hard with being in all the realms at the same time are causing you to get super disconnected from this hurt that you've put back there. Nobody wants to be connected to their hurt. Nobody wants to deal with it, but we have to, okay? We have to. That's also what's causing these holes in the aura that's letting all the bullshit get in. It's kind of like having an armor made with a sieve. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's the thing that you drain water through. So, you know, you can drain the water, the liquid out, and then have the gunk sitting in there still. So all of this negative energy is getting in there. It's causing you, I'm sorry with all the yawning. I talk too much and then I don't breathe and then I have to take a big yawn. Gotta love it. Good night, Shannon. Yeah, I can't wait to hear. But it's causing all this negative energy to get through, which is causing you to ground yourself even harder. Well, you're too grounded, so you're standing your own way. Whew. It's like a spiral of shit. So here's what I'm going to say. Here's the best way to fix this, okay? First of all, let's start back here. And let me breathe and take a big old yawn, Dakota. So here's the thing. First of all, don't be so hardcore on your spiritual stuff, okay? Just kind of relax. Just go with the flow. Just do the things, okay? Let that unlimited potential really just go where the universe unfolds it. Does that make sense? Just let it go where the universe unfolds it. Just be present. When you're not trying to push so hard, you won't be pushing so hard to stand in all the different realms. Okay? When you're not pushing so hard to stand in all the different realms, you're going to always be in the right one. You will always be in the right one. When that happens, you'll start paying more attention to a lot of this shadow work, this shadow baggage you've got down here. And when you start healing that, you'll automatically plug those holes in the aura that are causing all the bullshit to get through. That will reconnect you back to your ancestors and kind of lift this being too grounded off of this abundance. So it's kind of it was a spiral out, and you can unspiral it back in, if that makes sense. I'm glad this is on YouTube, so you can go back and listen to it a few times, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, Dakota. A lot, honey. But actually easy. Just because it's a lot doesn't mean it's not easy. It's like fix the one thing and everything else fixes itself. Does that make sense? Oh, is that you? Is that you, Dakota? Rune Raven. Aw. Did that make sense? Good, 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 good. Good. It's not hard. I promise it's not hard. And I know it's really cliche to say, you know, just kind of go with the flow and let it happen. But seriously, that's how all of that will, yeah, it'll right itself. Does that make sense? Aw. Is that good or bad, Shaz? All right. So I have Laura Hightower, Tabitha McKay, Midge. Oh my God, I love that. I always loved Midge. I don't know why. Midge, Saundra, Jen, Alexis, and Britt. All right, Miss Laura. Thank you. I love these. I actually carry these in my shop. You wouldn't say good. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I mean, I was trying to give you a blueprint for your week. Here we go, Laura. All right. So we're going to start over here. We're going to start over here and work our way up. So you have the little piece of zebra. You have the bobcat knucklebone. Then you have the titanium quartz. You know that fierce mama bear protector aspect, not protector ass, the protector aspect, Laura. Hey, Mandalay, let me see what's up, okay? Sometimes it takes a minute for it to go through. So give me just a second. There we go. I was like, oh, this just fucked all up. Okay. I'll keep refreshing it. All right? Yeah. Oh, honey, you're just not a good troll. So I can't let you stay. I can't let you stay. If you come in and you troll, dude, be a good troll. Like, be funny. Be funny. But you already made that joke, and it's just not funny now. It just makes us all sad for you. Good night, Shannon, honey. All right, Laura. You know that really fierce ass mama bear protector? You need to be that way for this young lady right here. And when I say young lady, I mean like 6, 7, 8 years old. Like that age. That kind of young lady. Okay? what's funny is you feel like you need to be this person for her, but I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having to reiterate it. Like it's interesting. I don't know why. It's like I'm having to, it's not permission, it's just confirmation. There we go. Let me say it that way. It's just confirmation. Now with this, with her in particular, there's 3 different things here. Well, let's talk about that. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this. Okay. With her in particular, she's really quiet. She's really soft spoken. And you just feel this need to be there and protect, be the umbrella. Like, I promise you're not going to get wet. You know what I mean? But this one over here is interesting because this is the turtle bone, and then also the buffalo. So you're kind of like the mama bear, aren't you? Like you just kind of gather up all the littles. Because this one right here is like all about being strength and guidance and perseverance for this one right here. This is an old soul. This is an old soul. This is a male. This is a young one too, but a super old soul. And then up here, it's like you have all of these responsibilities that you try to shoulder, but when you're around these two, either one of these, it's just like none of that matters. So I would say this young lady and this young gentleman right here, they're probably part of your soul tribe. And that's why you feel this intense need to protect and guide. Okay. The amazing thing about having people in your soul tribe that come in and they're much younger than you, they're put there for a reason. They're put there for a reason. Enjoy all of the time you have with them. Every single second of it. I'm not saying they're going anywhere, okay? But eventually they're going to grow up and they're not going to want to spend as much time. But with both of them, she's the much younger of the souls, okay? He is like old soul. So I'm curious, do you work with kids? Like, do you work with kids or do you just have kiddos? I'm curious, Miss Laura. Or is this like niece, nephew? Like, I'm trying to figure out who this is. It's really interesting. She physically right now is older than this one. Like, he's much younger than her. The coworker? Okay. All right. Gotcha. It's really interesting. Like, you are super protective over her. You are super protective over her. Just like that. I think you were protective over her before you even really knew her. Like, you even knew her name and you're just like, I'm going to protect you. There's a reason you feel that way. There's a reason you feel that way. And with him, there's a reason you feel like you need to be a guide. Okay? So, yeah. Man, got the blocking fingers on tight tonight. I don't know what's up with that. Enjoy every bit of the time you have with them. Enjoy protecting this one and being strong for that one. And enjoy guiding this one over here. Now, I will say this with the male aspect here, with the little boy aspect over here. This is a kid. Like, this is a kid. A little one. Both of these two are really quiet. They're really shy. And it just triggers something in you that, yeah. Okay. It's absolutely okay to shuck your responsibilities for them. I'm just saying. Boss might not think so, parents might not, you know what I mean? Like your mom, whoever, sister, friend, whatever, you know, why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing that with them? Because you need to. Because you need to. Okay? Does that make sense? Like, it's really interesting. That's why I asked if you had kids or if you work with kids or what's going on here. Okay, good. Good. Gotcha. Gotcha. Don't hesitate, okay? Don't hesitate. We're brought into people's lives for a reason. Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad I could offer some clarity there and some confirmation. That makes me happy. Go enjoy it. We're brought into people's lives for a reason. Just saying. Just saying. All right, Tabitha. You're welcome. All right. All right, Tabitha. So I found it very interesting, and I just needed clarification about this. That's why I threw another bone. So you have the shell, you have the petrified wood, you have the turtle shoulder bone, and you have the bobcat. Protection, grounding, shouldering responsibilities. And being very fierce in shouldering those responsibilities. The reason I needed extra something, the reason I needed something more, words are not friends sometimes. Shit. Shit. The reason I needed something there is these three right here in a triangle just speak about circling the wagon. The triangle is perfect balance because there's three sides. Three is always perfect balance. You need to shore up your protections. You also need to pull your grounding in a little better. Does that make sense? It's not so much that you need to ground more. It's not so much that you're too grounded, that you're ungrounded. It's that you need to just pull your grounding in better. Just strengthen what you're already doing. There we go. Strengthen what you're already doing. So for example, let's just say your grounding ritual is to go out every morning and stand in the grass and breathe. Maybe you need to sit in the grass. Maybe you need to put your hands in the grass. Maybe you need to walk around in the grass. Maybe you need to spend a little more time out there. Do you see what I'm saying? Just pull that in, just shore it up just a little bit. Okay? But this one up here, shouldering some burdens and so on, shouldering some responsibilities, shouldering whatever it is, comes with that protection and that grounding. So then I was like, okay, well, what responsibilities are we talking about here? Then I pulled out the bobcat knuckle bone. I have a feeling that this right here actually makes you a little uneasy. Being more fierce with like, no, this is mine. This is my responsibility. I'm going to do this, whatever it is. You have a lot of fierceness in there that you have to take care of. You have to let out and you have to start owning it. Some people have a problem being fierce. They have a problem being what they consider aggressive, even though we have to be in life. We absolutely have to be in life. Aw, hello in Greece. I'm not, now, let me say this. Just because someone doesn't want to be aggressive, just because someone doesn't want to be fierce in no way makes that person less than. Okay? In no way. It just means that you don't like to be aggressive. And that is absolutely wonderful. But in this case, but in this case, you need to be. You need to be aggressive with your protections. Your protections need to shore up your grounding, and your grounding needs to be the foundation for you being fierce. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all perfect balance. It's all perfect balance. That's why you feel off in your protections. I mean, in your grounding, because something isn't in balance. Does that make sense, Miss Tabitha? Thank you guys for sharing the live and all the new followers and all of you guys hanging out for so long. So the good thing is, I have a Zeus hair sticking out of my arm. The good thing is, Tabitha, by just tweaking your grounding a little bit, that will help to bring all of that back in balance. Okay? Sometimes we look for this massive, complicated answer to something when it's literally just a little thing. Sometimes the answer is super easy and the problem is super fixable, but we try to make it more complicated. I am the queen of making things too complicated. Trust me. Like, I'm getting better, but I'm the queen of making things too complicated. But we're taught to be that way. We're taught to be that way. If it's not complicated, then it wasn't right. If it was easy, it wasn't right. But yet sometimes it's literally just as easy as spending 2 more minutes outside. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's literally that easy. Okay? Does that help? All right, Midge, you ready? Interesting. So, Midge, you have the cat vertebrae inside the buffalo. The cat in my kit is all about landing on your feet, and it's all about straddling both realms. The buffalo is all about strength and perseverance. You have a very intense gift. I would bet that you don't sleep well. I would bet you travel a lot in your sleep. And I would bet that you just know the things. I think there's some clairaudience there where you just kind of hear the things sometimes. And I think that there's a lot of clairvoyance and yeah. But you've kind of got it locked up a little bit. Okay, this whole reading, here's the base behind it, is just let go a little bit. Because you have the feather, the silver feather right there, but over it you have the muskrat tooth. So the feather represents the spiritual, but you have the muskrat tooth over it, which represents like logic and perseverance and continuing just to move. You're looking at your spiritual self too logically. You can't look at yourselves. You can't look at your spiritual self too logically. Oh, thank you, Xander. You can't look at yourself too logically, okay? Not your spiritual self. It's cutting you off from this potential right here. See the big space? See how these are close together and then this right here is like a big space, okay? This is the blank rune. That's right side up, meaning unlimited potential. You have this amazing talent and gift down here, but you're trying to look at things too logically. Stop it. Stop it. If you continue to look at your spiritual self too logically, you're going to continue to keep yourself cut off from this. Sometimes we just have to let things be what they are. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, honey. Thank you, Leanne. So what I mean by logically is this. A lot of times we have, let me start over. As kids, we're taught to eradicate gifts and our spirituality. Everybody, every single person is born with gifts. Every single person has clairs. You have all of them. Okay? There's always going to be one that's way up here, and then they all kind of, you know, have this hierarchy of so on. Just like some people are much better at art and some people much better at math. Some people with the clairs, some people are clairvoyant, some are clairalient. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be a witch to have the clairs. Every fucking human has the clairs. Just does, okay? As kids are super tapped into the spiritual, other realms, etc. This is why kids can see a lot of things that adults can't. Because if we have a parent or someone in our life as a kid that nurtures our spiritual self, that nurtures our imagination, that believes us when we say, I see, you know, there's a guy in the forest. There's no one in the forest. No, there's a guy in the forest. Or, you know, whatever it is. Every kid sees something. Every kid knows something, hears something, etc. The thing I love about now is that a lot of younger parents are starting to listen to their littles, and they're letting them, they're entertaining them, and they're not entertaining them, they're entertaining their gifts, and they're letting those gifts grow instead of older generations where it was like, that's not a thing. You have an overactive imagination. You watch too much TV, you read too much, whatever it is. Okay. So a lot of people that are older, if you didn't have somebody to nurture you when you were growing up, to nurture your gifts and your talents, then as you got older, that logical part of your brain took over, because that's how you're trained in school, is to be logical and scientific and look at everything that way. So we get to the point where we try to look at our spiritual self too logically. And it pulls us away from our spiritual path and our spiritual self. I am that person that I look at everything as having a spiritual meaning. Everything has a spiritual meaning to me. And my kids used to make fun of me for it, my oldest especially. But now he realizes that when I'm like, no, blah, 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 blah. And he's starting to do it in his life. He's starting to look at things with a much more spiritual path too. Spiritual eye, spiritual lens. When you look at everything like that, life becomes magical again. Life becomes magical again when you look at everything as having a spiritual meaning. There are going to be people that make fun of you. There are going to be people that don't want to talk to you anymore because what's wrong with you, frou-frou, or none of that's real, whatever. But yet those same people that say that shit still trust their gut. Guess what that is? That's a clair. That's a clair. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'll get off my preacher high horse, my preaching high horse, my spiritual high horse, whatever. It just, we get deprogrammed from our own gifts, and we lock them in the back because we have to be logical, and we have to go to school and go to college and get a job and have a house and a car and 2.3 kids and a picket fence. And do you see what I'm saying? But that leave it to beaver kind of life it's not realistic. It's not realistic. And anytime you travel, even if it's just to a different state, a different city, the more you travel, the more your mind opens up with things. If you travel outside of the country, it's going to open up even more. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying. The Leave It to Beaver notion of the Matrix is just not, it's not feasible anymore. Does that make sense? It's just not. So, Midge, connect back to yourself. Connect back to all of those things. Okay? So, yeah. All right. Miss Saundra, you ready? All righty. I'm just giggling because this is like piled on top of piled on top of piled. So we're going to start at the top and work our way down. Okay. So you have the buffalo. Then underneath that, you have the pink imperial jasper. Then underneath that, you have the warthog tusk and the scroll. And underneath the scroll, you have the rattlesnake rib. Okay. Excuse me. So I'm also giggling because the rattlesnake rib underneath the scroll tells me that you're kind of learning some shit and some stuff. Tells me you're learning some shit and some stuff. The good shit. The good shit. The buffalo bone on top tells me that learning the good shit is warranted. And the tusk over here up underneath that imperial jasper tells me that you do have someone that's kind of threatening that self-love, threatening your self-empowerment, okay? You are very, very protective of yourself, of your self-empowerment, your energy, your self-love. Like, you're super protective of that. But you have someone that they're literally, they're threatening that. Like, that tooth is going in like that. Like, they're threatening it. So, because they're threatening it, you're learning the things. Now, I'm just going to say this, that this is confirmation that yes, you should learn the things. And there's nothing wrong than sending a little bit back. There's nothing wrong with some fuck around and find out. There's nothing wrong with it, especially when they're actively fucking with you like that. For anybody that is a hardcore protector of themselves and where they are in life, their energy, every little thing, to have someone fuck with you like that, they deserve anything and everything they get. Because what this person is trying to do is jack with your, I don't want to say vibe or energy, but they are. Like, they're just, you shine brighter than they do, and so they're trying to dull you down to their level because they don't know or can't or don't want to rise up to a different level. Okay? So, Saundra, first I would work on this. If you guys are wanting to, let me just say this to all of you, but Saundra especially. If you're wanting to learn the good shit and the good things, protection of yourself is key. You have to have your protections in place first before, ow, you hit yourself in the glasses, before you start actively doing the things and the stuff, okay? Learn all you can. And then here's another little tip. don't automatically, don't follow someone else's recipe for a working step by step by step by step by step. Take several of them and make them your own. Do the things that you've learned to practice that resonate with you and make it your own working. Here's why. If you take a working that you saw on a video, if you take a working that you learned in a book and you do it bit for bit for bit for bit, there's a blueprint to that out there. You see what I'm saying? If there's a blueprint, then it can be undone. Not that someone is going to know exactly what you've done or whatever, but they could. If they know that you just bought this certain book and they know that there are workings in that book that you can use against them, let's just say they're that intelligent, then they literally could go through and undo those workings. They may have to undo 5 or 6 before they get to the one you did, but they have a blueprint of it. So if you take several different things and you make it your own, they can't undo that then, can they? I'm just saying what I'm saying, Saundra. Just saying what I'm saying. Does that make sense, Saundra? Learn the things. Do the things. Have your protections in place. And then, yeah. Make things your own. Okay? Good. I'm glad it makes sense. I figured it probably would. All right. Jen Pickle. Let me update my list a little bit. All right. You got the tech tag come out. All right. All right, Jen. Okay, that was the end of the shell. I'm like, what am I seeing down there? So you have the seashell literally in the buffalo. You have the seashell coming up through the buffalo. Your protections and your strength are one and the same. In other words, if you've been wanting to know where some of your spiritual talent lies, it's in protection work. It is completely in protection work. And I know that some people are like, well, it kind of sucks. Like, I want to do this. No. Y'all never underestimate the power of having a talent for fucking protection. And you do. You have an amazing talent for protection. And I would bet that it's been something that you've had your whole life. It's not something new. Here's why I say that. Because you also have the peach pit right up against that. This is something that you also, I would bet, gained from your mom. Just because of the peach and so on. But this is something you gained from your mom and so on. You have a talent for protection. Not just being the mama bear and kind of protecting people and knowing where they are and what you can do, you know, those things. But when it comes to spiritual protection as well, you have an insane talent for it. So did your mom. So, caregiver and gotcha. Okay. Here's the other thing I'm going to say after I go on. One day I'll learn to breathe when I talk. I would recommend getting you a good book on protection magic, okay? Not because I feel like you need protections, but I feel like A, it will resonate insanely well with you, and B, you'll be able to take a lot of those things in there and tweak them to use for those you care for those in your life, for yourself, etc. Protection magic is utterly fantastic. It's utterly fantastic. Who can't use more protections? Do you see what I'm saying? Who in their right mind is like, oh no, I don't need any protections? Bullshit. Everyone needs protections. Everyone. So I would get a couple good books on protection magic. The reason that I'm recommending that is because you have the black Tektite here, and you have the scroll like literally up on the Tektite. So black Tektites themselves, the Tektite is glass made from a meteorite. The black is the most common. It's the easiest to find. So lots of sirens out there. Having the scroll up on the black Tektite like that, I think that you're a level of spiritual protection practitioner that's on a very interesting par by yourself. I don't know how long you've been practicing or what, but it's obviously super, super important that you start doing a lot more of these things because of this up here. Okay? You do have the rattlesnake rib and you have the bobcat knucklebone. This right here, and see how it's kind of pointing down like that? This is somebody that, I don't want to say has it in for you, but like they're doing a lot of things that, this is not a good person. It's not a good person. And they have that energy and that, focus to continue. They haven't started to get super, super nasty yet. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay. One of the things I'm going to recommend is doing some workings that kind of make you invisible. Does that make sense? Pull you out of the situation. Not that I'm saying to throw other people under the bus or let other people get hurt or get caught up in it, but if you can kind of stay invisible and out of it a little bit, then you can protect those around you that need the protection. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't like this person up here at all in any way, shape, or form. They're using this focus, this tenacity, and this strength that they have. Yeah. Like they're focusing it in the wrong way. There we go. Learning to play the game. Yeah. I'm serious. I would absolutely get you some protection magic books. And I would make your own workings out of a lot of the things in there. Layers upon layers upon layers upon layers, okay? When it comes to protections, you can never have too many protections. And having all those different layers means that someone has more problem trying to peel through them than it's actually work to do anything to you. So if you're in a place that's almost untouchable in a way, you can help other people, if that makes sense. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with that and that you have had to deal with it. That sucks. That sucks. Because having to do that at work is just, it's stupid. I wish I had like a good book just offhand to say, hey, grab this or this or this. But to be honest, like you really kind of can't go wrong with some of the protection books that are out there. I would just look at it before you buy it and make sure it has a lot of the things in it that you need. Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like this person right here. You need to be invisible and you need to be able to give other people protections. So yeah. So I'm glad it made sense, but at the same time, I hate that it made sense because I hate the situation you're in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So yeah. Yeah, keeping enemies closer is a thing too. It is a thing. You're so welcome. And I'm glad it was validating, and I hate that it was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that it was validating, and I hate that it was validating at the same time. So I'm sorry you're going through this, honey. I'm sorry. Like, do you need me to put them in a jar? Do you need me to put them in a jar? Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have a brand new spaghetti sauce jar. I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, Disney Grammy. I appreciate that. All right. Alexis and then Britt. And that's all I have on my list. So if you guys ordered a reading and it's not, and I didn't call your name, it's not showing on my list. Sometimes with PayPal, oh, that really hurt. Sometimes with PayPal, let me refresh my other list over here too. It takes a while for it to go through for some reason. And if that's the case, oh, there are more. Okay. All right. So I have Nicole, Amanda, Maribel, and Marie. There we go. All right, so let me finish this one, these two, and then we'll get back to those. Gotcha. Cool. So I was like, son of a bitch. Because sometimes it's just stupid. Sometimes it's just stupid. Let me say that, okay? Let me say that. All right, Alexis, you ready? I feel better because I was like, oh God, I thought that like my hosting or something was fucking up because it's done that before. So yeah, I was like, fuck. All right. So you have the turtle knuckle bone way up here. Then you have the shell for all the protection. You have the shoulder bone, which is all about shouldering responsibilities. But in this case, it's shouldering the protection. Then you have the tree of life right down here in the middle. I know it's hard to see. You have the plum, and then you have the imperial jasper over it. So this is all about shouldering the protection for a big group of people. It's all about nurturing this group of people as well. The tree of life and this plum pit down here represent like family. They represent the people that you care about, like your circle. But for some reason, like this is a specific group of people. So I don't know if you have a family. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know the dynamic, but you are the one that shoulders the vast majority of the protection. You're also the one that shoulders all of the nurturing and the love. And you're also like it's so funny, even though you're the one that shoulders the protection and you're the one that shoulders the nurturing, you also feel like you're super cut off from your divine masculine. You feel like you're super cut off from your divine masculine. Even though you're the protector, you feel like you have to be more of the divine feminine than you do the divine masculine. I'm just going to say this. Don't completely ignore your divine masculine, but you don't have to be all one or the other. There we go. I understand the need to be more of one, but know that they both are equally there inside you. Okay? That divine protector aspect right there, shouldering the burden for all the protection, is going to force that divine masculine to come out. But the nurturing, especially with that tree of life right there and the mama bear protector aspect, that's all about the divine feminine. What I find interesting is the knuckle bone is way up here. Like way up there. And it's sideways. Part of the reason that this is coming up right now is because you need to realize that you are the one that shoulders the burden for the protection, because you have a really weird obstacle coming up with this group. So you're going to have to be the protector as well as be the one that's nurturing when this situation comes up. It's just a weird situation. It's not really bad. It's not really good. It's just weird. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. But I will say it's a weird situation. Don't ignore your divine masculine. But at the same time, your divine feminine needs to take over. Does that make sense? I mean, don't be nervous about that situation. It's just a hurdle. Does that make sense? It's just a hurdle. Like I said, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just neutral. It's just neutral. But when it pops up, the situation itself is going to be like, son of a bitch. Like, why is it blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to realize, well, it's actually kind of a good thing that happened. It's not great, but it's kind of a good thing. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Embrace your divine feminine, but don't ignore your divine masculine. And I'm actually not saying balance either. Does that make sense? I'm not saying balance either. Let your divine feminine be the forefront and the divine masculine kind of be just right behind it. So do you know who this group is that the Tree of Life is representing there? Balance of both can be hard, yes. Pretty sure it's your roommates. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, like I said, this isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Okay? It's literally just a hurdle. Just a hurdle. And if you like just a hurdle, then it's going to be so much better. Okay? Some of the reasons that you have to protect some of the people in this middle group right here is because they are always going to see some things as bad. Does that make sense? I am live late today. Oh, God, it's 1 a.m. Shit. Guess who won't be getting 8 hours of sleep? Because I got to be at the shop at 10. This girl. All right, Britt. I guess I could quit slapping my gums and like do the things, right? Hey, Miss Kathy. Thank you, sweetie. You are so welcome, honey. Okay, there was one more. There we go. Or two more. Okay. All right. Here we go, Britt. So you've actually been ignoring some knowledge. So you have the Celtic love, the Celtic Trinity, Infinity Knot upside down. Oh, you're ignoring your gut, Britt. Okay. You have that upside down and you have the scroll on top of it. On top of the scroll, you have protection. So it's almost like you are ignoring some red flags in lieu of protection. And I know that makes no sense. I know that makes no sense, but sometimes we ignore signs because we're comfortable. We ignore signs because we know we're protected in this aspect here. We ignore signs because of whatever reason. But what bothers me here is that the signs you're ignoring are going to start causing problems, because you do have, right here, you have the buffalo bone and then the alligator tooth is on top of it. Now, that could represent this ferocious strength that's deep inside of you, which is great, okay? But this here, I don't like. That's the rattlesnake head, and it's coming in like that. If this were closer, if the zebra were closer, I would say that this is a rebirth, but I don't think so. Because this is pretty far away, and then you have the plum pit like pretty far away like that. So you're intentionally setting aside some knowledge that you have in lieu of protection. And to be honest, now that I'm looking at everything, I actually don't think that's a bad thing. And I don't think I need to tell you to stop. I think that protection right now is key for you, because see how that's in the middle of, there's 2 here and 2 here, and the protection's in the middle. Then you have this ferocious strength as well. I'm not going to tell you to not be this crazy, ferocious protector. Okay? I'm not going to tell you to not do that, because the rattlesnake head is coming in to bite, to insert some venom. And right behind that comes some other things and other people, etc., that are aligned with that rattlesnake ass person. And then right behind that, yeah, there's just bullshit. There's bullshit coming your way. Now, what I do like here, and I'm going to see if I can turn this extra. There we go. See how that's pointed like right at the rattlesnake head? Right at its little eyeball, where the eyeball would be. As long as you have your protections in place, that's what's going to happen. Like it's going to ram its little head right into that protection. I'm just saying what I'm saying. There's a lot of protective aspects. I usually don't see this damn shell as much as we've been seeing it tonight. The buffalo bone, it tends to come out a lot, but we usually don't see this shell as much as we've been seeing it tonight. You have some drama headed your way, honey. You have some drama headed your way. I would just, as long as you make sure your protection is in place and you have this ferocity when it comes to your protections, it's going to keep this at bay. But it's not just the rattlesnake, it's the little group that follows them. Okay? And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. You're greatly equipped to deal with it, but I'm sorry you have to deal with it. I actually think that the rattlesnake, the person that's represented by, I think you already know them. And I think they've probably caused trouble in the past, probably a couple times. But this team over here, you don't know who that is. You don't know who they are. Okay? So, does that make sense? That makes sense, Britt? And you know possibly what that could be? Good night, honey. Sounds about right. I mean, the good thing is it's not like, oh God, this is going to happen whether you like it or not. You know, this is going to happen, but as long as you keep your protections in place and don't stress too much about the love and light aspect of it, you're fine. Okay? You're fine. But like I said, I'm pretty sure you know the person that the rattlesnake head represents. Like I'm pretty fucking sure you know them. They've already tried to do this a couple times. So they're going to kind of try to come right for a spot that they already thought was weak, and it ain't weak anymore. It ain't weak anymore. So that's the good thing. Okay? I'm just saying what I'm saying. That makes sense, Britt? Do you know who that might be? You know the rattlesnake? Good. Good. Good night, Binksy, honey. I'm glad you know who they are so you can be on the watch for them. All right, Nicole, you ready? Got Nicole, Amanda, Maribel, and Marie. All right. Of course. You're welcome so much, honey. All right. Nicole. So I'm curious. I don't know if you're still here or if you're watching or here on YouTube, but I'm curious if you've been fascinated with sigil creation lately. And the reason I ask is because the way that these things are laid out looks exactly like, well, not exactly, but it looks like it would be a sigil. It looks like it would be a rune, warding or something like that. So that's why I'm asking if you've been drawn to sigils and warding and rune work creation lately. I would absolutely dive down that rabbit hole. You have the buffalo, which is all about strength and perseverance. You have the alligator tooth, which is about ferocity and ancient wisdom. And then you have the seashell, which is all about protection. Then you have the warthog tusk. I'm just saying, that is where, I don't want to say that's where your talent lies, but that's something that's been unlocked lately. That's something that's been amazingly unlocked for you lately. I would look up some of the different ways to draw sigils. I would look up, I would just practice, to be honest. I would just doodle. I would just practice. I would just do everything you can to work on sigil creation. Because it's poking at you lately. Not only is it poking at you, but honey, you're really good at it. You will be fantastic at it. So, sigil magic is something that has been unlocked for you, Nicole. Just letting you know. I don't know if you were asking for a new talent to be unlocked. I don't know if you were asking for a gift to come to the surface. I don't know, but you got it. You got it. That's your confirmation. You got it. Okay? All right. Amanda Ballard. I'm going to try not to be flapping my gums as much in between these so I can get at least like 7 hours of sleep. All right. Ooh, danger, danger, Will Robinson. So, Amanda, this is kind of scattered a little bit. You kind of feel like things are scattered a little bit. I almost don't know where to start. Let's start up here. We're going to start here and work our way over. So up here, you have the purple angel aura quartz. You have the rune that's upside down, the blank rune upside down. You have the lapis piece down here. Excuse me. Then here you have the star anise upside down. You have a titanium quartz. Then you have the dyed red quartz. And then you have that raven head, and it's upside down but pointing away. Ow, I forgot about my arm. That hurt. So that purple aura quartz, see how it's like way up here? It's way up here. As I was about to talk about this, in looking at all of this, you need to pull everything in. Okay. So you know when you have like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like if you have a whole bunch of pendants on a necklace, if they're spread really far apart, you're not going to get the full effect. Like if you had this beautiful beadwork and it got stretched, it doesn't look like normal beadwork. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But if you squish it back down how it's supposed to be, and it makes this beautiful, intricate design, then everybody can see what it is. That's kind of what's gone on here. I have a feeling that life has gotten so busy for you lately that everything has just kind of started to spread out. You know, when you put something on, say, a table that's spinning and it starts to work its way out like that, that's exactly what's happened. So everything that's been going on, it's so much that it's kind of hit that pottery wheel and it started to expand out like this. So you're going to have to do this and pull it back together. This is your spiritual self. This is your path. This is your personal energy, your my words just went completely far away. We'll just go with personal energy. Bah. Your spiritual protection, your strength, spiritual strength. But what I don't really care for is this right here. This particular quartz in this set represents, you know, the danger sign, the oh no. You also have the raven head that's kind of upside down and pointing away. It's almost like with this getting so spread out and discombobulated that you're not paying attention to some of these big red flag things that have been waved in front of your face repeatedly. You definitely got, I just want to reach in and do this and like shore things back up. I think the easiest place to start here is going to be your personal power, your personal energy. Because you can call that stuff back. And as you call that back, it's automatically going to call your path back into play. And it's going to call your spiritual practices back into play. And it's going to call your spiritual protections. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Just start here. Start here with your personal protection and your energy. And just start sucking it back. Just start pulling it back in. I don't think that this is anything like horribly bad. Does that make sense? This right here, I don't like that you're kind of glossing over some red flags. But it could get bad really quickly. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Start with your personal power. You'll automatically pull your path back in. It'll get clear again. You'll automatically pull your spiritual practice back in, which will pull your protection and your strength. There we go. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Start there. Start there. Yeah. Because I don't like that. And I don't want that to be, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be a thing. Don't ignore the red flags. Yeah. Your personal power is going to be the key. So when you guys pull your personal power back, you have to do it in a way that even those people, I'll wait for the red dot of death to go away. I had somebody just try to call me from Australia. All right, I'm back. I had somebody just try to call me from Australia at 1:20 in the morning. And now they're doing it again. So we'll wait for the red dot of death to come back. Nobody on YouTube told me my hair was sticking straight up. So here's one thing that I don't understand. So my phone number has gotten out. It is currently where I'm at, 1:18 in the morning. And I just had someone try to call me twice from Australia. My phone number has gotten out. I actually had to go get another phone. I had to go get a second phone with a private phone number that only certain people have. And it's stupid. It's stupid. I've had this phone number for shit 10 years, almost 10 years. It's irritating. It's irritating. And what I don't understand is that people don't have boundaries. People don't have boundaries. So usually it's getting to be almost a daily basis now. They just keep calling. They keep calling. They just keep calling. If I have sent you to voicemail 3 times, honey, every time I see that they're calling and the red dot of death pops up, I pause. So if you guys want to watch your, on YouTube there, yeah, I will block them, but I can't do it while I'm on a live. So yeah. But yeah, people don't have boundaries. And so on a daily basis, I'm waking up to text messages and all kinds of stuff. It's just, I don't understand. I don't understand. It is what it is. So yeah. Oh no, I'm keeping the number. Like I've had it way too long, but I did go and get a completely separate phone with a new number. Just period. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Miss Amanda, call your power back to you, and all of this other stuff will just automatically, okay? I'm starting to get really irritated. I'm starting to get really irritated. Yeah. Yeah. I'm starting to get really irritated. They just keep calling. Yeah, they just keep calling. So, yeah. That's really irritating to me, and here's why. If I have sent you to voicemail 6 times in a row, I obviously can't answer the phone right now. You know what I'm saying? Just saying what I'm saying. All right. I have Maribel and Marie, and then I'm going to go bed. All right. Here you go, Maribel. Miss Amanda, I did pause. Okay? I did pause every time that came on there. Uh-huh. So here's what's happening. This is someone that knows that I'm on a live right now. And now they're doing it on purpose. And so even though I actually tried to answer that time, they hung up. So this is someone that's doing it on purpose. And that's okay. Because you know what? I have some very interesting friends all over the world. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So yeah, they're now doing it on purpose because they know that I'm on a live. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Just saying what I'm saying. I have some very interesting friends that work in cybersecurity, and I have some very interesting friends that work for some very interesting places. Just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. There they're calling again.
Hello, get off TikTok, you fat bitch. Go hang yourself, you fucking dog. Bye-bye. Love you.
So, I would love for you guys to go on YouTube and listen to that. Because remember how I just said that this is someone that knows that I'm on TikTok? What they don't know is that I'm streaming dual live on both YouTube and TikTok. And I have their number. And I have their IP address. And guess what this person just decided to tell me in their wonderful Australian accent? That I should get off TikTok because I'm a fat bitch and I should go hang myself. Okay, bye-bye, love you. That is on YouTube at 174 minutes in. And you can bet that I will be putting that live on TikTok here in a minute too. So that is absolutely someone that has nothing better to do with their life than to interrupt and interrupt and interrupt. But they got what they wanted and they got their few seconds of fame, and I'm glad that it will live on YouTube and happily go on my TikTok. Like, I feel really bad. I feel really bad for that person. Like, I really, really do. Really do. So, I think it's hilarious, to be honest. And you know what? I actually kind of feel bad for them. That they have nothing better to do with their life than to get my phone number and then do something like that. Like, and then also, it kind of makes me giggle. Do you know why? I must live in their head rent-free enough that they went online and researched to find my phone number. They researched enough to, listen to this. I live in this person's head enough. They hate me enough. I infiltrated their life enough that they went online and searched out my phone number so they could call me repeatedly while they were obviously on one of my lives. That's sad. That's really, really sad. That's really sad. And funny. I'm glad that I live in your head so rent-free that it caused you to take time out of your wonderful Australian morning. And I'm so sorry that you have to wish things like that on someone. Like, yeah, that's so funny. I'm sure they're still watching right now too, and it's awesome. I hope you have a fantastic day, Sugarfoot. Yeah. Yeah. They obviously have bigger issues. Yeah. They obviously have bigger issues. Oh, they're calling again. You ready, YouTube? What's awesome is they called again and I answered again and they didn't say anything. They just wanted to hang up. So the great thing is I have an iPhone, so I can put it on Do Not Disturb. So there's that. I love it. I love it. But here is what I'm going to do. Miss Maribel, let's finish your reading. So, Miss Maribel, you have the lapis. I can't quit giggling. Like, this is really funny. I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm just saying. I am. I'm super popular. Miss Maribel, you not only have the lapis, but you have the cat vertebrae, you have the buffalo tooth, and you have the peach. So here's the thing, Maribel. What I love is this. Instead of needing to re-seek your personal power, you've already been owning it. You've already been standing up for what you believe in. You've already been standing up for yourself. You've already been standing up for your gifts, for your own personal strength, and your divine feminine. So I'm going to say this, Miss Maribel. I'm super proud of you. I am super, super proud of you. I don't think that you needed to hear something specific. What I think is you needed the confirmation. You just needed someone else to acknowledge it. Because a lot of times in turning ourselves around and turning our life around and owning our own personal power and cutting off people that all they want to do is suck our energy. All they want to do is make our life miserable or whatever. We lose a lot of people. We lose a lot of things. We just lose everything. Or what we think we lose everything. We sometimes just need someone to tell us how proud of us they are. Well, I'm really proud of you because in taking your own stance and being your own advocate, all of these things are falling into line. Your gifts are getting stronger. Your strength is getting stronger. And your divine feminine is absolutely glowing. Absolutely glowing. So, Miss Maribel, I apologize that your reading kept getting put off by someone who is obviously not in the same boat that you are. You, however, my dear, are fantastic. And you're doing a wonderful job. And don't stop, okay? Thanks, Miss Christine. Don't stop. Don't back down. Don't let the trolly McTrollersons, no matter where they are, get to you. Okay? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right. Miss Marie Johnson, you are my last one this evening, and then I'm going to go have some fun. All right. All right. Miss Marie. So, I like Nick says, mwah. Oh, that's a good question. Willow asked, is it true that Reiki 3 doesn't exist? That's actually not true. So Reiki 3 is technically the master level. There's Reiki 1, which is beginner. There's Reiki 2, which is where you learn to work on other people. And there's Reiki 3, which is master level. And then technically, Reiki 4 is master teacher level, where you teach other people. All right. So, Miss Marie, you have the buffalo over the imperial jasper. Then right here, you have the big piece of zebra. And way over here, you have the larkavite. Okay. So, keep moving forward with you, with your path, with nurturing your own strength, with doing what you want to do, with being who you want to be, with being who you're supposed to be. This person over here, you're welcome. This person over here that is trying to stop that, that's trying to tell you you're not good enough, that's trying to, like, and it's literally one person that keeps doing it over and over and over and over and over. They keep doing everything they can to try and make it to where you feel like you can't, you feel like you don't have the personal power to move forward. They keep trying to take your personal power and move forward. So with that, just let them go be miserable somewhere else. I know it's hard to not react, especially when they're doing this, but you really do have a lot of people that are standing up for you and protecting you, okay? You really do. The other thing I'm going to say here is your strength comes from your divine feminine and the nurturing, amazing, caring person that you are. I have a feeling like just seeing the way this is, Miss Marie, you're really squishy. Like you're really squishy. Don't stop being squishy. You can be strong and be squishy at the same time. You really can. Don't stop being squishy. Don't let this person over here take that away from you. Don't let them make you be hardcore, because you're not. You're amazingly strong, but don't let them take away this beautiful squishy part right here. Okay? Okay? Yeah. You have a lot of people on your side, Miss Marie, honey. Okay? Yeah. Don't let them take that away from you. So, I mean, I'm happy to put them in a jar if you'd like. I'm happy to put them in a jar. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I may have several people that need to go in jars. Just saying. Well. With that, I'm going to get off of here, put out a little video, screenshot some things and some stuff, send a few messages, and reach out to Australia. Okay.